Very first work in progress video. I'm working on my large 70 by 90 painting. It is the Toothless and Pikachu one. Let's see if I got a picture of what it's supposed to look like, which is right there. Alright, so I got a good chunk of it done. Definitely nowhere near halfway done though. So this is definitely going to take a long time. But that's kind of why I like doing this. It's because it does take a while. And once I am able to get it done, it will look absolutely amazing. And this picture has not disappointed yet. So I am super excited to see how far this will go. Even though I have been doing this for a couple years, I am not the best at it. As you can tell, I am also a lefty, or you might guess that my camera's backwards, but it's not. I'm left-handed, so I have to have the lighting a different way, and this particular painting is not so good with the underlighting, just because of the darker. It's easier to see from the light from the top. So hopefully I'm getting this right and I'm not just showing off nothing. I don't know how anybody else does their camera setups. I kind of had a hard time just setting up my camera itself. I have a normal, very boring tripod for my phone, and unfortunately it doesn't sit up on the table. It's too big, so any advice on that would be great. So yeah, there's a lot of greens and a lot of blues in this, that's for sure. I do sometimes use the multi-tool, but not a huge fan because it takes a while to get it down. So, but I'm also not keen on the fact that it doesn't always look straight when I'd use it. So I'm a single use girl, so hoping everybody is doing well in these uncertain times. There's a lot of scary stuff out there at the moment. I have not been to work in a couple weeks because I have to make sure that my son's kept company while he is out of school, and they extended it until the 28th of April before he can go back. So as for me, I will be going back to work next week. I will be have absolutely no vacation time left because of all this, but my kid's worth it. So I'm just thankful that I still have my job. I'm not a big fan of the homeschooling thing. I'm not very good at teaching anything at all. And keeping him occupied is kind of difficult at times, so yeah. So as I mentioned, I have been doing this a little over 2 years. It's give or take. Probably take more than give. I'm not sure how many diamond paintings I've done. I've done several larger projects. Many of the projects I have actually given to family and friends, so I wasn't able to show them on my first video. I actually did one of Link for my brother from Zelda, because Zelda is his favorite game. So, but all the 310s on that, oh my goodness, I wanted to cry. I think 3/4 of the whole thing was 310s, and just the outline of Link himself was just the some normal colors, so it definitely popped. That's for sure. It took me at least 5 months just to finish it. I was going as diligently as I could because I was supposed to get it in October, and I didn't get it until the beginning of December. I think I screwed it up. And it flew all the way into the kitchen. So it was supposed to be a Christmas present for him for Christmas, and he didn't get it until May. So he was kind enough to be patient, at least, which made me happy. Because I didn't have any other backups for what to give him. Alright, so that green is done for that. 19s. Oh. I'm not sure if I've got any tips, tricks, or anything like that that nobody else really uses. I've learned by progression, I guess you'd call it. Some people I've seen have shown videos of cool little tips and tricks for doing this. There's a couple things to remember. If you do shake the tray, it does help put the beads. Oh, and I drop it. It does put the beads, for the most part, the way you want them. It'll catch, and they'll be right side up, ready for you to pick up. But don't just shake it up and down. Side to side is always the way to go. Up and down is probably a disaster waiting to happen. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess. Yes, so I've never really recorded myself doing my diamond painting. And I'm not sure if I should do it live or if I should just do it like this and talk about different subjects or whatnot, opinions and stuff like that. Could help. I just like doing it and I want to share it with you, and it's a good cathartic, I think that's the word, thing to do, just to watch the painting grow and So I would be listening to music or whatnot, but I know YouTube has rules about certain music, so I don't have any in the background. The only thing in the background I have is Final Fantasy 14, and that's just, I don't even know if we can hear it, so that's probably a good thing. This is not my only hobby, which is kind of good, because if this was the only hobby I had, I'd probably have carpal tunnel by now. So I also do things like ride my bike, taekwondo, stuff like that. I'm learning how to crochet. So this being as easy as it is just something to get away and just relax and enjoy. It helps with any stress I have throughout the day or get throughout the day. Unfortunately, I can only do it at my kitchen table, so I have to have it as clear as I can. And it's also my son's school work area because he does not like sitting in his room. That lovely. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. So I end up not being able to do it until later in the afternoon or evening. This diamond painting actually has 54 colors. Yeah, 54 colors. So there will be times where a whole square will be only a couple different colors. And then there will be squares like this one where it'll be the same of mostly one color, which I kind of like because it's easier to just go rather than try and search through that color to make sure you see the color and everything like that. But obviously if you only have one color, it'll be a very, very boring diamond painting. I believe I don't know the actual seller that I bought this one from. It's definitely from AliExpress, and I do love getting their stuff. I have not gotten anything from them recently, mostly because I've got quite a few diamond paintings to go. So I've got a good stock. But I can't always afford to have I'll get a whole bunch here and again when I'm not even doing them half the time. So I usually like to listen to books while I'm doing this, and kind of hard to do that when I'm videoing, because nobody needs to hear the middle of a book they don't even want to read. So it's kind of quiet. I think I got everything. Yep. So that one's all nice and done. Next one shall be, I do prefer these white trays over the green trays a lot. I like the little lip that you can just stick into the container and pour your stuff out. Six. I did get tweezers just for this. It's a whole package of them. So there's, I don't really use all of these. I usually just use the straight edge ones or the slanted ones like these. But mostly just to get things right back on track where they need to be. I do not use them full time. It can be hard. 486. Right? 986. Yes. It's the arrow. The swerving arrow. A lot of these colors look almost the same too. It's ridiculous sometimes. Just like, well, might as well just use this one just to... I can tell the difference in all the colors, so I don't actually do that unless I run out of them. And I am definitely not running out of colors anytime soon. I still have some unpacked bags that I haven't even touched yet. There's a lot of colors to this. There's over 70,000 beads, I believe. I cannot remember because I added it up once just to see, and it was a lot. I think this is my largest diamond painting so far, and probably the largest one I may ever do. Oh shoot. We'll see. I probably will end up getting one bigger and bigger and bigger until finally they're all too big to handle. Not really, but I mean, my motto was bigger the better, I heard, right? For this particular painting, I think I picked the right size and the right seller for this because it's just amazing. The details you can see when you step back. Even when you're looking at it, and when I first started, I'm like, aren't they supposed to be trees? Why are they blue? But that blue makes it look more like a birch tree, and the way it was, it was perfect. It's spot on. So I have seen some good quality ones that are a bit large, and I've actually seen some not so good quality ones that are not as large, or just as large and not as good. And it's because they didn't want to use the different colors. They only had a certain amount of colors they wanted to use to make the diamond painting cheaper, which actually hurt the diamond painting itself, and of course would hurt them as a seller, because who wants a bad quality diamond painting, right? So I do not. I have actually not gotten too many that I have been upset with. There's one or two that I've been disappointed with. There was a white tiger one that said it was a full drill, and it was definitely a partial. And in that same painting, the black stripes, they gave me whites for, and I was not so happy. And so I told them about it, and they sent me a whole nother kit, a brand new kit. And lo and behold, the stripes were still white. And I'm like, Okay. And this was from Amazon, so a lot of the Amazon ones are just the numbers. They don't have DMC codes. So on the packages it has the numbers, and then that's it. So it's not like it was too hard to I got things mixed up. I definitely didn't. So I actually had to get some black from an older project, which luckily I had still. I closed that one, didn't I? I'm gonna need more beads in here. So that was a fiasco. I really did not wish to press. That's for sure. 939. So some of these, there's not enough just to pour it in, so I just dip it in my pen into the container itself. I don't always get the right beads, but for the most part I do, especially if it's new wax. I have run into the oily ones, and I have also run into the static ones. And many of the advice I have taken to heart. If you get oily ones, get a little strainer, put in some Dawn dish soap, rub them nice and clean, wash them, rinse them out, and then wait for them to dry before you put them on a paper towel to transfer back to your container. That's what I do. For the static ones, I just clip a little piece of fabric softener for the dryer, and just put them into the container, shake them up a little bit, and just leave them there. I dropped a lot of my grains. Oh, there were more hearts. I forgot to look down further. Yeah, I am not very good at cutting, so as you can tell, the cutting job I did on this was not so good, but it doesn't really matter as long as everything that is sticky is covered up. So that's why I'm pulling down this part so that I can get underneath. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to. So I'll do this row too. And that way we're all safe and sound. Great. So yeah, I'm one of those crafties, but not very crafty. I love to be able to be precise with stuff, but with my eyesight, I'm not as good as I wish. Fudge. And I do that often. They do stick to your finger a little bit, so it's easy to get up. And I've had plenty of practice getting dropped beads up off the canvas. Probably too much experience. So sorry about that. That's gonna take a second. too long for me. I'd rather be painting rather than picking up. So maybe I should let them drop. Yep, I am now picking them right up off the canvas. So I can't do edits on my videos. I do not know how. So you're just gonna get the plain uncut version of everything I do. So sorry, but I'm not really sorry about that. This mama's definitely got better things to do than to edit. Alrighty. I know there are a lot of people who do different things for when they finish their paintings. A lot of people use Mod Podge. I don't even own it. I've been thinking about getting some and doing it, but the glass kind of keeps it safe and sound, so I don't really use that. So my next one is G of 20. It's not very many G's either, so not worth taking out a bunch. So I don't know if I will give myself time to finish this whole block for this video, or if I should end it soon. I'm running out of things to say, and my throat's kind of dry, and I don't want to leave it while I go get a drink, because I left my drink all the way on the couch. And who wants to see a diamond painting not being painted, I guess. I don't know why they call it diamond painting though. Because you're not technically painting, you're placing. But that's just me. Let's see. Nope, no G's. I think I got all the G's. If not, I will come back to that. This one, there's only like 3 of these. There are ones where I have a hard time with them sticking together. Those are the most annoying things. I usually put them in a tray and then put a smaller tray on top and squish them. There's other ways to do it, but I forgot entirely what those ways are, so I can't particularly say what they are. So I like this color so much that I had to split. At least it's on the... Anyway, how annoying. As you can tell, I am very klutzy, so I'm sorry. It's bad habit kind of thing, I guess. No matter how much I try to be careful, I end up screwing something up. So. Alrighty, I'm going to actually leave it here for now. I did a little bit, not a whole lot, but it's not terrible. I do press down on them to make sure that, you know, they click and they're in place. I do have a rolling pin, but the rolling pin does not always help, so thank you for joining me, and hopefully you will see me again.